Black women. Just a few hours ago, I was looking at the situation that's happening right now in Venezuela. For those of you that may not be familiar about what's going on in Venezuela, let me enlighten you, shall I? Venezuela has been under severe economical duress. Several years ago, there was a president by the name of Hugo Chavez. And under his presidency, people pretty much lived well. They had jobs, they had food, they had money. Everyone was doing pretty good. And unfortunately, Hugo Chavez, he developed cancer and he died, and now there's a new guy by the name of Maduro. And President Maduro, for whatever reason, his political leadership has just failed the people of Venezuela. So much so that hunger has been an everyday major problem. Cannibalism has been reported in prisons because inmates are being starved to death, and so they're turning on each other. Many people have fled to Peru, and some to Colombia, and some are even going to Brazil to get food, to get jobs, for survival. And it's gotten so bad that people have begun to eat their pets. And there's been reports that people have broken into zoos to get animals for food. The animals in the zoos have been so emaciated that, you might as well just put them out of their misery, I guess, because the zoos can't afford to upkeep the animals. And women are now turning to prostitution in Colombia so that they can send money back to their families in Venezuela. And I say all of that to say this. I am very concerned. I don't want to say his name because I can't stand this man. But I'm very concerned if our Chief Executive Officer of the United States of America, Mr. Orange Peel, if he gets reelected, we are going to see a lot of serious cuts. And it's going to affect the poor, mostly women, children, some of the disabled, and it's going to get really bad. There are at least, I think there's about maybe 50 million or more people that rely on all different types of government benefits. And if this man gets reelected, it's going to be very bad. I'm already noticing a lot of women and children, homeless people are putting up tents around bus stations at night. I see it when I'm coming home. I'm seeing more and more packs of men with no jobs, dirty, smelly, hanging around bus stations, train stations, harassing women, and it looks like we're on the verge of a serious economic collapse. I don't mean to sound dramatic, and I don't mean to sound, what's the word I want to use, negative, for lack of a better word, but, you can't ignore the pink elephant in the room. You can only brush the dirt under the rug for so long before it begins to grow a mound. And I've been telling you guys, it's important for you to stock up your home. Now, I want to be very careful about this because I know the last time that the last few times I said I go really fast. So I'm going to take my time with this because I care about you guys, and I don't want to see young moms and children on the streets, black women and children. It's just, I'm trying to really prepare you guys because I see what's coming and it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. So you have to understand, I have been looking at several pieces of content where people haven't been able to access their ATM machines, and in certain states, there was even one YouTube content where there was a man talking about, you know, keep cash on you, because if the ATM machines shut down, if the ATM machines are not working, and if the supermarkets are not accepting your debit card, your credit card, your food stamp card, whatever you may use to purchase items, you're going to be fucked. Because if they're only going to be accepting cash, and most of your cash is in the bank, on an account, on a card, or you don't have, you know, that's the only way that you can get your money out is through the ATM machine, getting cash back by buying stuff, and you don't have any cash, you're going to be in big trouble. You're going to be in big trouble. You ain't going to be able to buy tampons, diapers, shampoo, food, gas. You ain't going to be able to pay your rent. I mean, it's going to be bad. And so it's important that you first and foremost get yourself a waterproof, fireproof safe so that you can put some cash in there and keep it on hand. You know, even if you got to start putting away maybe $5 a week, $20 a week, you know, $40 a month, you know, maybe, you know, recycle, you know, cash in those cans and bottles. If you see pennies, quarters, you know, laying around, you know, do whatever you can to save up some money, because I have a very strong feeling that we're going to have some sort of computer glitch, some sort of issue with the ATM machines. And supermarkets and gas stations, wherever you have to use your ATM card, your food stamp card, your credit card, you ain't going to be able to use it. And so you got to keep cash on you. So get yourself a fireproof, waterproof safe. That's the first thing you need to do. You can go to Lowe's, you can go to Home Depot, and you can buy one for, you know, for like $14 and as much as like, you know, $300. You know, I would say maybe no more than $40. You know, that way you can keep documents in there. You can keep, you know, copies of your driver's license, your birth certificate, your social security card, all documents that are important. Okay. And then you need to start, you know, every time you go to the market, put like maybe $10 away and just use that to get like, you know, canned goods. I would probably say go to the 99-cent store or Dollar Value and just stock up on canned goods. You know, stock up on canned goods, you know, soup, tuna, sardines, pasta, sauce, whatever, you know, canned food. And make sure that you have a first aid kit, because I'm afraid that if things really get bad, and you know, you're going to want to have all the essentials on hand. You ain't going to be wanting to go out into the streets looking for stuff, because it's going to be a lot of dangerous people out there trying to take advantage of you. So you want to keep a first aid kit with plenty of whatever you need, whether it's, you know, alcohol, peroxide, Band-Aids, gauze, you know, stents. If you happen to sprain an ankle or you know, something like that, you know, you want to keep that on hand. You want to keep a nice, good, hearty first aid kit. So you want to get a safe, you want to get a first aid kit, and you want to make sure that you have plenty of canned food. If you have children, you want to make sure you have plenty of baby food, toddler food. You want to make sure if you have a home, you might want to get a deep freezer and put it out in your back garage, so you can keep frozen meats and, you know, stuff in there, like, you know, chicken and beef. All that can, you know, if you freeze it really good, it can last for 5-6 months. You might want to, if you have a home, you might want to, you know, put some shelves up in your garage and stock it up with flour and beans and peas and rice and, you know, pasta and you know, household goods, you know, all that stuff. And You also want to make sure if you take prescription medication, if you take birth control pills, you might want to make sure that you have a good 3-month supply. You know, let's say you are a diabetic and you take insulin. You want to have a 3-month supply of syringes and insulin. If you take heart medicine, if you whatever it is, you want to have a 3-month supply, you know, because, you know, you need money, you need cash to go to the pharmacy to get what you need. And if you don't have any cash and you are a diabetic, for example, and you can't get your insulin, you're going to die. Okay? So, you know, you want to make sure that you cover your bases. You want to dot your I's and you want to cross your T's and be prepared. Because you don't want to be out there tricking and you know, turning tricks, you know, for a hot meal. You don't want to be, you know, turning tricks for diapers and baby formula or to get the rent paid. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to end up like those people in Venezuela. You don't want to end up like that. They were not prepared, you know. So another thing that you want to do, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, you want to get a firearm. You want to get a good one. I've put up links in the past. I'll put some more up. You know, you want to get a good firearm. You might want to get a 32, a 45, a 44 Magnum, a 9mm, and get plenty of ammunition. See if you can get a permit to carry it, because I'm telling you, it's going to get bad out here. It's going to get really, really bad. If you know, Mr. Orange Face gets reelected in 2020, he's gonna really put a lot of middle, lower, working, poor class people out. It's going to be bad, you know. And I'm noticing that black men, you know, they got a hard on for this. A lot of black men, especially that little short fuck Obsidian, him and his crew, you know, all they talk about is cuts, cuts, cuts. You know, put these broads out in the street, cuts. You know, make these broads humble up and bow down to us, you know, and all that kind of crazy shit. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be able to bow down to some man for, you know, you don't want to be given head, okay, for a pack of tampons and some, you know, ground beef. You know, you don't want to do that. You don't want to find yourself in that position. And a lot of these black guys are just waiting. They're just waiting, you know, for these cuts to come. It's unbelievable. I've never seen people so hard up to see their own race destitute. That's sick. That's fucking disgusting, man. Also, another thing, if you can do it, I don't know if you can, but if you can do it, you know, pay your rent, you know, a month in advance. In other words, you know, if your rent is due, let's say tomorrow's October 1st. If your rent is due, pay your rent into December. Because if you're not able to get, if you don't have access to the ATM machine, how are you going to pay your rent? And even if you do have cash on you, it may not be enough to pay your rent. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to just be one step ahead of everything. You know, pay your gas bill, your light bill, your electric bill, water bill. You know, pay it a month in advance. So if you do that, like let's say the 1st of October, and the shit hits the fan in the middle of October, and you don't have no money, and you got rent due November, well, if you've already taken my advice, you'll be good into December. Hopefully by then you might, you know, something might come, you know, I don't know. That's going to lead me to something else to tell you. Get yourself a side job. Whatever hobby you have that you think people might need in times of trouble, perfect that skill. You might be able to make some money that way. I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't know what type of skills and hobbies, side jobs you guys can do, but, you know, you're going to have a plan, because the shit's about to hit the fan. I have a very strong feeling based on what I've seen. I'm watching RT, I'm watching Al Jazeera, I'm watching NBC, ABC, MSNBC. I'm looking at all these networks, and I'm reading the papers, and I'm looking at what's going on. And I'm looking at, you know, our chief executive officer is pissing people off in other countries. We got issues with Russia and China and North Korea and Iran and, you know, and Syria. And the shit's about to come down. So you need to be prepared. You know, I hope you guys are prepared, because I showed you what happened in the Carolinas. those poor women down there, you know, nobody came, no sheriffs, no police, no paramedics, you know, you saw the links, you saw, you know, those women, they had no food, you know, nothing. If you have a home, get a generator. So when the lights get cut out, you have a generator. You know, you might want to keep 2 or 3 gallons of gas containers in your garage, so you can put that in your generator, so you can have lights, so you can get shit working. You know, you got to be prepared. Okay. I'm gonna try to get some information for you guys and pass it on. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, shoot me an email, leave a comment. You know what to do. Peace out.